So this is Patrick, do you want to set it up or do you just want to read it?
Yeah, it's Patrick McGuire near the end of the play, and he really hasn't, John Knowlson, who's helping him establish a Catholic community, he's trying to, he's a bit drunk and the shit's hitting the fan, and he's trying to, he's kind of going back in his mind to why he's still so determined that the Catholics will succeed in Cavan in 1850. They had been there as long as anyone could remember. They had worked every inch of the land for as long as anyone could remember. They knew every hill, every valley, every stream, every turn of the path. It was their place, their home. In the dismal, damp winters, in the bright, cheerful summers, in birth, in death, in health, in sickness, in prosperity, in famine. It was theirs, their place, their ground, for as long as they could remember. And then one day, without warning, someone came to the door and said, in a language no one inside could understand, "Get out! You do not belong here. This is not your place anymore. This is our place." They did not comprehend what had been said to them, but they were thrown out of their house all the same. And they stood in the yard and they watched their home of the centuries be burnt to the ground and all their worldly possessions go up in smoke. They stood in the yard for the longest time, until the people of the strange language rode up on horses and told them to move on. Those who did not were whipped until they did. And so they all moved off their ground, leaving their cattle and their pigs and their donkey behind. And they walked up the hill they knew so well, through the familiar valley, across the favorite stream, and along the long-known path, until the way was no longer familiar, until the hills and valleys were strangers, until their place and their home was far, far behind, never to be seen again. And all this happened just yesterday, in 1607. Okay.
I just love that writing mode. And it's so, I didn't, until you were reading, I think about it for you and your home and what the land at Fort Wayne means to you. But then you're reading it, and of course it's what the Winslows of Derryvore is about.
Mm-hmm.
That exact moment. Do you remember the inspiration for that writing?
Well, I was a kid. I was an only kid, a lonely kid, and I used to go out through that farm, and I used to have my favorite places I walked, and my favorite parts of the farm that almost were magical to me. Reading a lot lately about Celtic mythology, and the land was very magical to those people. And I had a favorite part of the stream, and I had a favorite path, and I just thought of how much it meant to me. Even it might have been ripped from another culture by my ancestors, but yeah. Anyway, we all do our work. We all try to be what we are, and things mean things to us. So.